Hey, what's up? It's Kit. Time for another video. Today, we're gonna be setting up my reel with the leader, and then I'm gonna be showing you my rod and the lures that I'm gonna be using specifically for this combo. So we're looking at the rigging aspect, and then I figured that you guys should see the leader that we're using. We have a choice between 2.75, essentially about 3 pound. That's 1.25 kg, or 2 kg, 4 pound test. And this is fluorocarbon, this is mono. I am still thinking about this, but more than likely we're gonna be using this. Okay, now I use a specific type of a knot for this, and I'm gonna show you that, guys, that it's actually quite easy. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for joining us. And this channel, if you're wondering, talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And today we're rigging this line, or we're rigging this reel right here for soft plastic ultralight fishing. All right, so first what we're gonna do is actually put the leader on. Okay, now I'm gonna put this reel right here. It's out of the way. And then the very first thing that you do is actually check for damage. This line is okay. It was new, but newly spooled, but we have to actually check that. Now, just so that you see exactly what the diameters are of this leader and line, I'm going to show you right here. I don't know if you could actually see it, but we'll try right there. So that's it right there. Okay, very, very important that you see this. So you can see that this is still way thinner than the leader. Okay, now the knot I use is actually very easy. But before you do this, what you need to do is actually cut the length that you want to use. Now remember, we've checked for damage here. We also check for damage on this side. In this case, there's a bit of a kink right here, so we cut that off. Very important that you do this, especially when you're dealing with ultralight. Okay, and then we take about 2 arm spans, which is what I use. So that's 2 arm spans right there, and then we cut the end. Okay, so what you do is ensure that you have a long working end. Make a loop like so, then pass the leader and the braid through. You do that 5 times. Okay, make sure the tag of the leader is out, and then you pull the rest of the leader line through. And be very, very careful when you're doing this, because you don't want to damage your leader. Till you reach the very end, like so. And this is very important. Pull this together. It has to be equal. Okay, and what I do is form a loop there, form a loop here, and then pull it. Before you tighten, what you need to do is wet the line, like so. Okay, then pull, and then you'll see that your knot is actually very, very small. Make sure to pull it tight. There we go. Cinch it down. Okay, now we cut the tags. So with this, you just cut the tag, sharp pair of scissors, as close as possible. And then now it's the tag of the braid, which is over there. Have to make it as clean as possible. So there we go. Now I'm going to zoom in and show you guys how, well, actually, let me just focus right here. There you go. You can see how small that is. That's your knot. Okay. So from there, all we do now is just make sure that that leader is wound on well. I don't even bother reeling this in because it's too small, too thin. Okay, just ensure that this line doesn't get damaged. That's it, and that knot will hold. Okay, so 2 arm spans for me. You could make it shorter if you want, but I always cut down, and also I use the line clip, so I clip it there. So it doesn't get all over the place. All right. Now, I'm gonna zoom in a bit here because I'm gonna be showing you exactly what we're gonna be using with this. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to show you the rod. So the rod that I'm using with this is an 8-foot 6-inch rod. So this is the rod right here. As you can see, it says 0.8 to 8 grams, 0.2, 0.3 to 0.6 lb. Sorry, PE 0.3 to 0.6. So this rod is long, it's very light, and it's very, very sensitive. All right, so we have a scale here so that we can accurately measure. So that is 1.4 grams. All right, together with this, essentially we're throwing something that's just under 2 grams. Okay, so if we're actually trying to cast this with, say, a thick combo that isn't really that light, so you're missing out a lot. So this is one of the jig heads I love using. As you can see, there's even some line there. Okay, that's from Gamakatsu. And this jig head right here, together with the soft plastic, is only 1.5 grams. So altogether, that's it. And this is also the reason why I don't use snaps on the lures, because the snaps actually have some weight, and it will affect how you're manipulating the jigs, and it's not helping me. So for me, I use very light leaders, very light jig heads, together with a rod that's capable of actually um, fishing them, and that actually catches me some good fish. And we're not after small fish; we're actually after quite decent fish. Sometimes I catch about 2 kilo fish on stuff like this. Okay, it's just about how you manage your your equipment. Now, the most important thing here, of course, is the drag. And the reason why I'm using this reel is because I know that the drag of this reel is actually very consistent, and it hasn't let me down. Okay, so adjust your drag accordingly. I measure my drag. And that's one of the most important things that, as a habit for me, I do. Okay. Now, this little thing here, I think I've discussed this in the other videos, is so that when I put this reel on the ground, acts as a stand, so sand doesn't get on the reel. So if you don't have that and you're into ultralight, that's one accessory that's actually pretty useful. Okay, so that's it. Anyway, pretty straightforward, I think. Not very hard to replicate, but if you want something like this, the hardest part is actually finding the line and the rod, because with this, I have an 8'6" rod, and it's actually kind of rare to find rods that actually have ratings like that are able to cast less than 1 gram, and it only goes up to like 5 grams or 3, so uh it's not an easy rod to find, and it's also long. I think you'll have an issue looking for rods that are long, especially in the ultralight scene, but they're out there. That particular one is a discontinued model from Varivas, and I have another one from Shimano, which is a bit on the heavier side. And this is specifically for casting soft plastics that are really tiny. Okay. When I do small jigs, such as the ones that we've just received from Sea Falcon, I have another combo, and I have another reel to use for that. This is a PG, as you can see there. Okay. Which means that it's actually slow. Okay. So when I reel this, I don't reel the line in quite fast. And that's very important when you're actually working soft plastics, especially the really small ones. And what you need to do is make them move as natural as possible. And that's it. Now, those are not the only soft plastics I have. Obviously, I have a ton and a huge variety from different brands. I also use flies. I have some flies that are in the 1 gram, 1.5 gram range that I use as well. But that's another topic for another video. Okay. Also, these tails right here. So these are kind of on the small and short side. So I like these. I also have lighter versions of these, about 1 gram or 2 grams at the very most, which I can use as well, but I don't really. I'm thinking this is a bit too on the heavier side even. So this combo is specifically for those really small soft plastics. And I don't know if you have a chance to actually do this wherever you're at, but if you're doing something like this, it's almost like fly fishing, and it's very, very effective. Anyway, if you have questions, just drop them down in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. That's it for now. Hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next one. Class dismissed.